What's up guys, Yvonne here, and today we're gonna be talking about my first Hyrox. First things first is, why did I sign up? It's so funny. It's not like anything premeditated or anything. It's just I saw people doing Hyroxes on my TikTok For You page, and I was like, maybe I can do that. So that's the main reason I signed up. And also I started going to the gym sometime last year, and I was like, why not challenge myself and see where I am physically. So on the day of the Hyrox, so first of all, I signed up for open women's double, and I had a partner, Join Duta, shout out. So our start time was around 11:50. That's the time they gave us, but we didn't start until 12:30. So already Nairobi sun. So by the time we were getting there, it was already quite hot, and by the time we were starting, it was like the sun was peak level, and it was really hot by the time we were starting. How I felt going into it, it was a mixture of excitement and nerves, and just, also seeing other people do it, and you're like, those guys look fit, Aki, will I be able to do it, such thoughts. But it wasn't anything like where at any one point where I felt like I can't do it, or like we won't be able to do it with joy. So the runs during the Hyrox. So for anyone who doesn't know how a Hyrox works, let me just explain. A Hyrox is basically a mixture of runs with different physical exercises. So you run 800 meters, do an exercise, run 800 meters, do an exercise. So you do that until you finish the exercises. So you do a total of 8 runs, and you're also doing 8 exercises. The runs, so prior to this, me and my partner were not training outside. We trained outside maybe once in the heat. So we're training in the gym on the treadmill for the runs, which was mistake number 1, I think, because wow, the heat, running in that heat just felt like, I just felt heavy, I felt slower than usual. I didn't feel like my body was moving the way it normally moves, but you just have to just sit with that feeling and just endure through it a little bit. But yeah, those runs were really hard. They felt longer. Like every time we're going for another lap, was it felt like the track is just getting longer and longer and longer. So yeah, the runs were really hard. The first exercise of the circuit was bear crawl. So first of, as I mentioned, I have problems with my wrist, and I thought, oh my god, my wrists are gonna hurt and I won't be able to pull my weight, because I was doing a women's double. So I didn't want to disappoint my partner, but shockingly enough, once we started, it was just fine. I think our pace was really good. Though Joy's technique was a bit funny, but the judges didn't say anything, so I'm gonna let it pass. After bear crawl, we had the bear hug carry. The videos that they sent for training, they were using a medicine ball, but on the day, use a sandbag, just a gunia with sand inside. So once you lift that thing, I think we're lifting 30 kgs if I'm not wrong. I didn't know 30 kgs is like that, because when you carry it, the weight is not distributed nicely. So you have some things falling here, some things like the sand dropping here, and yet you're carrying something here, and you're not allowed to let it drop anywhere below your abdomen. So it was really a struggle. I really felt like the sandbag was very heavy, like very heavy, quite heavy, and I think it's because the weight wasn't evenly distributed. So plate pull, when you watch other Hyrox videos, they don't do plate pull sitting down. They do it while standing up, and then they pull it when it's on the sled. So I guess us were doing it sitting down, because maybe minimal resources, or maybe because they don't have the sleds, I don't know. But yeah, so For me, sitting down, it felt it felt hard pulling it. The way it really felt, like I was really having to put my back into it. I was like, ugh, ugh. So yeah, the technique I used was single arm, or you use your like one arm grabbing the rope one at a time like this, and if it got too heavy, I'd just like pull with both hands, trying to get as much energy and strength into that pulling. And yeah, so after plate pull, we had a burpee broad jump. I think it was okay. The judges kept telling me my form was good technique and all. The only thing, I think my jumps were too short, but I was feeling like if I jump too far, I'll use too much energy. So it was like, which hell do I do? So I think Joy was doing bigger jumps. My partner Joy was doing bigger jumps than I was, so big up to her. So after burpees, we had rowing. So at this point, you're like at the halfway mark, and you're just feeling like, okay, maybe I have some new energy that I can use to do this whole thing. So rowing was supposed to be my area of expertise, because I have more endurance than my partner had. Ooh. Sorry. As I was saying, I have more endurance than my partner when we were going into this specific race. And to be honest, I didn't feel like I have endurance. I really felt tired. You could just see from my technique, I was just like, my back was hunched over. I was feeling like, oh, this 750 meters is so long, you know. I think the biggest struggle for me was right after going from rowing into running. I just felt like already my heartbeat was so fast. Like I felt like it was just beating out of my chest, and I could not catch my breath. I couldn't push myself past a certain limit. So we walked for a bit, then jogged for a bit, walked for a bit, jogged for a bit. In terms of lunges were good. They didn't feel too hard. I think the trick for lunges is getting the rhythm of just going down, up, down, up. So I was just trying to find that rhythm of down, down without stopping, trying not to stop as much as I can unless my legs were really burning, which they were. My legs were burning up. What was even harder was having to run after doing those lunges. My legs were just cooked. Like, I was just wondering how we're gonna do wall balls next. But yeah. And lastly, we had wall balls. So going into wall balls, it was like, oh yes, final exercise. But thinking about, oh, we have to do 75 reps of wall balls it was so discouraging. It just felt like, oh my god, like, how are we going to do this? You know, one thing I noticed about the wall balls was the judges were really strict on form. Like, you had to go into a really deep squat, up and up. So, and I remember my partner kept breaking the movement. Like, you know how you're supposed to squat and then go up continuously. So she'd go down, stop, up here, and then throw the ball as another movement. And the judge kept giving us no reps. Yeah, it was just a hard section, and at some points the ball would like drop down, and I'm like, is this really 4 kgs? And I'd just sit there, put my head on the ball, and be like, you know. But our fans, Olivia, Steve, Abby, Melissa, Belita, who else was there? JK, John, and Olivia's sister and friend. I think it's Pam, and I've forgotten the other name. But all of you guys, you know yourselves. You guys really helped, especially in that last section. The encouragement and shouting and saying, "Go, go! You're almost done." That really helped a lot. And after that, we ran to the finish line, and it was finally over and done with. So we ended up finishing with a time of 1 hour, 18 minutes and 48 seconds. Which, honestly, that's like more than enough for me for the first time. Our goal going into it was doing 1 hour 30, only because when we're training, we'd get around like 1 hour 36 minutes, 1 hour 40 minutes. So the fact that we got 1 hour 18 is like shocking. I don't know if there was a mistake somewhere, hopefully not, but yeah, I think it was really fulfilling to hear that we got under the time that we had targeted for. And yeah, I think Hyrox 254s, they they did a really good job. Um, the event, other than the events, like the specific races starting a bit later than they're supposed to and having to do it in the sun, they had a lot of free drinks for the participants. There was like electrolytes, there was creatine, there was pre-workout, and afterwards there were energy drinks and all of that. So it was a really, 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 really good day personally for me, and I can't wait for the next one. And I think going into the next one, even starting now, how I'm gonna structure my training is more runs. I'm gonna have to run outside more, and get stronger as well, and also just work on communication when you're doing with a partner, just learning how to manage your frustrations in the moment, and communicate better in a way that is beneficial for the race. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about the Hyrox, and hopefully we do the next one and we get 1 hour 15, 1 hour 5 minutes. Yeah, I'd really like to get 1 hour 5 minutes, but we shall see. So yeah, let me know if you'd be interested in doing a Hyrox and also how we did. So yeah, peace out guys.